Oh, hello everybody, and welcome back to the Pick and Roll live stream here on the Board YouTube channel. We are back after almost a week away from the channel. Apologies for that. Most of that's on me. Just had some issues at home to deal with and just some scheduling issues. But we're back today, and we did not think that we'd be coming back to the show with both of the conference final series at 3-0. Pretty incredible stuff here. We'll be covering a little bit of what we've seen from the series, but of course, you know how the show works. We're going to start off with the free picks. We're going to hear Pips' handicap on the one free pick today we have, which is a big SGP available at FanDuel. Then we're going to talk some analysis from the series and whatever else comes up along the way. So if you guys are ready for the show, you're happy to see us back live on the channel, make sure you do hit that like button. We're coming down to the end of the season here, and we've had such a successful season on the show as well. We are above 20 units on the show over 2 seasons, but we are well above the plus 10 unit on the mark for the season. So please give us your support. Like this stream, subscribe to the channel as well. And now let's get into the pick that we have. So we did say that we might struggle to come up with shows for the conference finals, which hasn't really been the case. The playoffs have been really good to us this season, but there's only one pick for today because things are just becoming so constricted at this point. But we do have one play here. The big SGPs have been stellar all season, but particularly in the playoffs. And we have another one here. It's in the Pacers and Celtics game tonight, and it is a half-unit play as normal, but we're getting plus 333 odds at FanDuel, and it's going to be Al Horford over 2.5 3-pointers made. I actually put three plus here, but the over 2.5 threes is actually a superior price, so make sure you do the over 2.5 rather than the 3 plus. We're going to be taking Pascal Siakam 20 plus. Make sure you do the 20 plus instead of the over 19.5, and the TJ McConnell over 11.5 points. Same thing there. Make sure you do it exactly as this for the play here. So Siakam 20 plus points, Horford over 2.5 threes, TJ McConnell over 11.5 points. And just to mention here, Halliburton is questionable, but that's not going to affect TJ McConnell's minutes that much because he is coming off the bench anyways. Just something to keep in mind with that injury news there. All right, we flip it over to you, Pips. Live from your parents' house. Thank you for taking the time to do the show today. Tell us about the handicap behind the play here.
Yeah, the Horford got 12 of attempts for 3 in game 1. They went away from it to game 2, and game 3 again put up 12 threes. So they are playing pick and rolls with him. He's popping out. They are sticking with 2 with the ball. So kick out from White, kick out from Tatum to wide open Horford. He shot wide open threes in the entire game, and he's getting 12 shots up. He's almost certain to make a 3. Like, that's math behind it, and getting at a good price. Don't want to do it as a straight bet because there is like maybe a chance that the Pacers change something. So I'm going with this, not risking much, but huge profit if it happens. Also helps that game stays close, and that could stay close is we see good performances for Siakam and from TJ McConnell. Last game, TJ McConnell cooked them. No Halliburton. I don't expect Halliburton to play, but if he does, TJ will still get 20 plus minutes of the bench, which should be enough for him to cover this. But as I said, I don't expect Halliburton to go back down 3-0 for in the series, 3-0. Yeah, Siakam, first game they played Horford in drop coverage against Turner. Then they switched up, put Horford on put Horford on Siakam, and Tatum on Turner to take away his pick and roll game with Horford in drop. And then that opened up a lot of stuff for the Siakam. Also, they switch a lot with Siakam, so he had easy like ceiling inside on the Drew Holiday. Not easy on Drew Holiday, but sometimes on Pritchard, on Hauser, or Derek White, where he can just score over them with size advantage. So yeah, this is I think for this price, this makes a lot of sense, and this should be a winner more often than not. And at this price, this should be a great look. I didn't want to go with the Tatum assist because one game he had like 18 assists, the potential assist. Next game he has like 8, then again big assist. So I don't know what to expect from Tatum, and I don't want to bet on him. But this game should be close because Pacers at home. They played a great game last game. I hope them to get a win without Halliburton, but they crumbled late. So
Yep.
I'm okay if they crumble late again. So we get good minutes from everyone.
Yeah, just transparency. We started a little bit late here. We originally had Pips had Andrew Nemhard on there instead of TG McConnell, but this is more so covering for the Halliburton news. If Halliburton's in, Nemhard's minutes would be affected a lot more than TG McConnell. TG McConnell won't have much effect there, which is why Pips again opted to go for that as part of the big SGP here. But again, it's been super successful on the big SGPs as of late. Recapping the previous show's plays, it was a 2-0 day. It's been a while, so you may have forgotten, but these games were on. These were from May 21st, the May 21st show, which was last Tuesday, 6 days ago. We had Kyrie Irving over on points. I think that was for game one, actually, so it has been a while. And we did have the plus 472 big SGP, which cashed as well. It was Jaylen Brown points, Miles Turner points, Tatum under assist, and over on rebounds. Awesome winning day for us on the show here. It was a plus 3.4 unit day. Great stuff. Right near the end of the season, we're driving up the profits that have already been pretty much confirmed for the season. I don't even think we're going to do enough shows to even have that as a question on the season. I know it's been a while, Pips, but yeah, just maybe just a discussion briefly. Two big SGPs in a row have won. What is it about these sorts of plays where you're able to find success at such high odds?
Just watching so many games and looking at some correlations between the stuff and defensive schemes, and sometimes it's like just the I predict a volume, and then I predict like what's the floor for the player, and I bet over on these lines. I combine a couple of these, and we get a great price. And if the game stays close, we have winners usually, and a lot of time it's like correlation between the like play type. Like if we are like we did it a couple of times with Trey Young when we expect him to be tight coverage on him, so points under, assist over, corner guys maybe threes over combined. So like that kind of stuff. Maybe like today probably good bet would be like I know I didn't add it, but it has good correlation. Tatum assist and Horford threes, and yeah, look at that, look stuff like that. And I think that's the most profitable way to bet on NBA props.
All right, so let's move on into some discussion points. And we got a big one here because the Dallas Mavericks and Minnesota Timberwolves series is not going as expected. I think even the biggest Dallas Mavericks believer could not have foreseen this ending up being a 3-0 series after 3 games, especially with 2 of those games occurring in Minnesota. Especially myself here, I took pre-series, the last show, I took Minnesota to win the series. And I thought, like, there's just the size, the matchups here. I just don't really see where Dallas are going to have success. But they've had all of the success here. They've been pretty tight games, but in the big moments, they've come through. And the biggest moment probably was Luka Doncic isolating against Rudy Gobert at the end of game 2. But the series as a whole, Pips, neither of us saw this one coming. What have Dallas done to be so successful against the Timberwolves here?
Defend Luka. Luka being Luka, like a completely different player than we saw like from the Thunder series where he looked hurt and like playing like 70% of what he's capable of, and now he looks like he's getting almost every shot in. And Kyrie step up game 1, game 3. He was huge in game 1, especially he covered our line in the first half, which is crazy. Yeah, he was there. And also game 3 foul trouble for Gobert. Game 1 they lost by 3,
I think,
and yeah, Gobert was plus 10 in his 38 minutes and minus 13. They were minus 13. So Gobert out there is huge for them. And also Towns, 3 from 22, I think, from 3 in the series. He makes a couple of these, and we have 2-1, maybe even for the Wolves. So yeah, that's the way this series are going. Kyrie and Luka putting their numbers up, Towns and Edwards failing to do so. Huge contribution from Lively and Gafford in some games. So yeah, I mean, overall, would I say 3-0 is realistic? Probably not. Probably 2-1 from Dallas, but still, when in crucial time, when late into the fourth quarter, experience is huge. Luka did everything right, hit every good shot. Same with Kyrie. So yeah,
Here we are. I mean, we had from the previous series where Dallas were more so really benefited from the great play from the role players. It wasn't so much Luka and Kyrie being as special as they've been in this series. So maybe part of the thought process for me a little bit was like the role players should come down, but well, the role players are still playing really well, and Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving are playing a spectacular basketball now. That's been a big effect. But sometimes for these series as well, like does 3-0 tell the entire story here? Maybe not. Like these games have been very close, but in the biggest moments, the Dallas Mavericks have come through, and Anthony Edwards and Karl-Anthony Towns haven't looked the greatest. And, these tiny moments can shape an entire series, an entire season. I think that's what we have in this situation here. So full credit to the Dallas Mavericks. Maybe, honestly, from the OKC series, maybe we didn't put enough credit to Dallas for winning that series. Maybe it was more so we are kind of saying what OKC weren't doing well. Maybe it was more so Dallas were just doing so well on
but
each end of the court.
I would say like Edwards looked unreal for most of the playoffs first two rounds.
Yeah.
So him keeping it up was maybe what we expected, and maybe that wasn't that realistic because it was his first playoffs. I mean, not first career, but first
real
big,
run.
yeah, first real run and first real like expectations of him, and he's flat short last. I would say like 5 games, like last 2 games from against the Nuggets, and now 3 games against the in this series. So like last 5 games he wasn't best, and they need him to be the best. Like look, he got mightily outplayed by the Luke.
Yeah. Let's have a quick word here before we wrap up on the Celtics and Pacers series. Boston up 3-0 in this one, but kind of feels like the Pacers have sold themselves a little short here. Definitely looked like in game one. I mean, they're up 3-0 with less than 10 seconds left. Would the ball ended up going to overtime and losing? Question marks about whether or not there should have been a foul on that final play. I mean, I for one probably would foul regardless, but if you're playing the percentages there, Jaylen Brown hits a ridiculous shot. And then their most recent game 3, Pacers were up big, and when it came to the crunch time, Boston really just took over this game. Al Horford was immense. Pacers, rightfully so, probably continuing to bet on him not making shots, but he just continues to make shots. And in the absence of Kristaps Porzingis, he's come up pretty big in this series. Ultimately, though, the Celtics, I guess the expectation was they would win this series. We kind of had a hunch that the Pacers were being sold short and could get this one to 6. And perhaps, despite it being 3-0, we were proven right with the way the games went. But anyways, Boston, have they impressed you in this series enough to say that they're still the best team remaining in the NBA?
I always have issues with Boston late into the games, and they outplayed the Celtics 2 clutch games. So maybe that's a. I didn't like their plays, but they did make shots. So that's also important when for the finals. But yeah, I think Pacers didn't disappoint. I mean, they're down 3-0. They disappointed in crucial moments, but overall, they put good pressure on Boston, and they were in good spot to win 2 games. Fucked up late into the game. I think game 1 was in like 2 terrible turnovers, terrible shot from Halliburton, like with 15 seconds on the shot clock, and like just inexperience, huge inexperience game 1, huge inexperience game 3. Even though they had TJ McConnell out there, but some younger guys made some mistakes, and their defense also made some mistakes. So it's experience, playoff experience, and it always will be like important to get most players winning there like third round, big players. Like you can see a young team with like one run that they are like winning championship as a main player. So good experience for the Pacers. They'll be back, and yeah.
Yeah, when it comes to the playoffs, it's about the big moments and the small moments, and Boston have some of the most experience with that at this point. and look to be en route to going back to the NBA Finals. So we shall see how everything does transpire. We'll cover as much as we can here on the Board YouTube channel. Keep a lookout for future shows this week. We'll see if the playoffs extend here or the series extend here in the conference finals. But regardless, we will have content on the way in the form of a NBA Finals preview, and we will have multiple watch parties ready to go for the NBA Finals as well. So there's content on the way here. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you drop a like as well on this one. And just to recap before we go, here was the play for today. One play today, it is in the Boston and Indiana game. It's going to be plus 333 odds at FanDuel for Al Horford, 3+ 3-pointers made, rather over 2.5 3-pointers made, specifically Pascal Siakam 20+ points and TJ McConnell over 11.5 points. That'll do it for the show today. Keep you a little bit trim here. We have to keep it a little bit trim here, but happy to get the shot. Happy to be back on the channel as well, and we hopefully see you again next time for some more content right here on the Board YouTube channel.